Welcome to another video from Gweilo 60. So the topic of the day here is, it's still safe in China after all of the stuff that the West has done to China. And when you say, oh, and I know there's going to be those haters out there that say, oh, they deserve it, oh, they're this, they're that. Well, I've got a different point of view, and you know I am pro-China, so like my point of view is my point of view. It's a little bit windy out here today. I'm in Guangxi Guangxi University. I haven't been here for about 18 months, and it's even more beautiful now. They've done so many upgrades. It's gorgeous here. Look at the lily pads. Like, seriously, look at the lily pads in this thing. They've got fish in here and everything. But yeah, I know. And that's not what this video is about. So is it safe in China for your average, well, let's start with Canadians because I'm a Canadian. Arresting Meng, Trudeau and his cronies, bad-mouthing China. Do I feel safe in China? Yes, I feel perfectly safe in China. Well, why is that? Well, the people that shouldn't be safe in China are the people that are actually breaking the law. That brings me to Andrew Scheer, conservative. I don't like Trudeau. Trudeau's an idiot. But Andrew Scheer, a conservative, I don't think I'd vote for his ass either, just for the fact that he keeps spouting this stuff about, oh, they've detained, they've arrested 2 Canadians and they're on the death penalty, and Trudeau's doing nothing about it. Well, these dicks, Schellenberg for one, trying to export 500 pounds, not even, yeah, 500 pounds, a half a ton, 500 kilograms, a half a ton of methamphetamines to Australia. From just think how much devastation that would have caused in Australia. Okay, the other guy, methamphetamines, yes, again, fentanyl, yes, again. So if these guys get the death penalty, they should have known that before they started trying to sell drugs in a place like China. Okay, now is it safe for Americans? Well, yeah, I believe it is safe for Americans. The Chinese have a different perspective on life, and there's government and then there's your local people. After all of the things that the Americans have done, throttling the 5G, Huawei, trade war, and then more tariffs, and then more tariffs, trying to bully China into making a trade deal that's better for the United States. You see, that worked good with Canada and Mexico, but with China, they've got more buying power, they've got more stamina. They won't just roll over and lay down like Trudeau and the Mexican government. It's just not that way here. One of the things I think is funny is the Americans, they trash out China, they hit these tariffs, and the United States has a pretty strong economy, so they hit them with tariffs that is designed to screw with the Chinese economy. Then when the Chinese RMB or the yen goes down, the Americans say, oh, China's manipulating their currency. Well, get out of here. You can't have it both ways, guys. I get comments on my channel all the time, and it's people that listen to the Western media. I would imagine usually Americans, probably Republicans, I would imagine. Oh, and I'm gonna put in a picture that I saw on Facebook about your chicken man, Trump. Anyway, that's another story. But you get all of these people that listen to the Western media just regurgitating what they've heard. How's that? Aren't you scared, Gweilo? Aren't you scared of being arbitrarily detained? Wow. The Western media has been using arbitrarily detained for a while now, so when I hear that in comments, it's just people like parrots or whatever regurgitating exactly what they've heard. They're not thinking for themselves. They're believing the Western media. I'm telling you guys, I've been around I'm coming up on 17 years in China now, and I've never seen a more freer society. Maybe the government has strict rules and regulations and laws. And you know what? I think because of those strict rules, regulations, and laws, and the penalties that go along with it, that are basically severe in terms of the Western penal system, makes it a more safe place for the masses here. So if you look at it that way, what would you rather have? Your criminals getting off with a slap on the wrist like they do in Canada and the United States, or would you rather have the criminals getting shit on from the authorities and your normal, hard-working, tax-paying people reaping the rewards of a safe and free society? That's what you've got here in China, and it actually works. You go outside at night in China and there's kids playing on the street. Yes, in a city of 7 million people, downtown Nanning city, there's children playing on the streets at night. And you know what? They don't have a worry in the world. Why? Because the system is designed that the criminals aren't given the upper hand here. The criminals get shit on, and that's a good thing, I think. It's not like that in Canada. It's not like that in the States. You don't send your kids even downtown Prince Albert, Saskatchewan on a Friday or Saturday night, or any night for that matter. Why? Because it's dangerous. There's drug addicts, there's thieves, there's all kinds of lowlifes, and the police, what are they going to do? Throw them in jail? The judge will let them out the next day. So why even bother? Here? No, you don't get out the next day. And that's what is the biggest deterrent for criminal activity in China. So when you're spouting all this, the communist regime, you don't have free speech, you could go to jail, you could be arbitrarily detained. Well, no, you're not going to get arbitrarily detained here in China. If you're doing something wrong, you will be arrested, and the punishment will be severe, and that's the way it should be. You want to see arbitrarily detained. Miss Meng was detained on a warrant from the United States in Vancouver, and this is a while back now. What did Trump say? He said, well, you know, we might release her if it would help with our trade deal. Well, on a whim, a political whim, how's that for arbitrarily detained? You know, it's one of those things that if it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. And if the United States and Canada can do stuff like that, why would they use that against another country? I don't get it. The media puts a bad spin on China. They're talking about the Chinese economy going under 6% growth this next year. Well, if you listen to the Western media, they make it sound like China is going under. They're economically depressed. Their whole world is going to collapse. Or the whole communist system that they've developed here is going to collapse. Well, and then in the West, if they get 2 or 3%, they're saying, "Oh, we're doing really good," you know. So it doesn't really make a lot of sense that the Western media spins China's success that used to be plus 10, 12%, but even at 6%, this country is growing faster than any other place that I've ever seen. I think there's smaller countries like Vietnam and stuff that are growing at a faster clip rate now, because a lot of the manufacturing is leaving China and moving into those smaller countries because they work for less, they work longer. All of those things that China has over the West, these smaller countries like Vietnam and Cambodia have over China now. So yeah, their economy is slowing down, but still at 6%, yeah, come on guys, that's not a collapsing economy. That's not the banks are in trouble because they've got a lot of bad debt. Well, look at the States in 2007, 2008. Yeah, that's bad. So maybe they're talking from experience. I don't know, but it sure doesn't look like there's an economic downturn in China to me. And I'm living here. I'm living the experience. I see it every day, and there's just as many buildings being built as there was 10 years ago. There's just as many people going to university at the Guangxi University. There's so many people on the street buying food, buying, you know, the wet markets are thriving. Walmart's, did you see Costco? They had to shut that damn thing down in Shanghai because there was too many people there. So that's a depressed economy where people aren't spending money? No, no. This place is hopping 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and it's not going to stop just because the Western media says, oh, they've got a depressed economy. Doesn't work that way, guys. So back to, is it safe for Westerners, expats in China? Canadian, American, European, any Western person, yeah, it is. It's just as safe today as it ever has been. There's no conspiracy by the Chinese government to arbitrarily arrest anybody. There's no conspiracy by the Chinese government to make it hard on people coming into their country on visitor visas or resident permits, spouses of Chinese people. There's no conspiracy on arbitrarily detaining tourists in the country here. Do I feel as safe as I did 10 years ago in China? Yeah, I do, and I don't see it changing anytime in the future. I think it has a lot, the garbage that the West has been flinging at China, I think it has a lot to do with their ego and the inability for their economies to match that of China's. Oh, and yeah, and there's some reasonable people running the country of China that have worked their way from bottom to top. And yeah, I'm talking about Xi Jinping. He doesn't try to buy Greenland. He doesn't try to make it so, oh, we can drop nuclear bombs on hurricanes to stop them from hitting our country. You know, really crazy stuff like that coming out of Trump. Well, you got to understand that if you got a crazy person running your country, it's capable of just about anything. And you're thinking that China's all of that bad? Look at places like Chicago, 3,000 shootings in a year. China, not very many shootings in a year. Is it safe here? Damn straight it's safe here. It's a lot safer than the United States, any city in the United States for that fact. I'd rather take my chances here than in Chicago or Detroit or New York City, South Central LA, places like that where if yeah, exactly, you can be disappeared there real quick, if you know what I mean. I truly believe that the people that don't think it's safe in China are the people that have never been to China, or maybe the people that have been to China for a very short time, that didn't get to understand the people, the culture, just the way of life. It's I feel free here. I don't have any responsibility. I like that. No responsibility. After running a collection agency and immigration consulting firm where it's just in court, not a court, responsibility coming out your yang, then I show up in a place like this where, yes, I'm drinking brandy, walking through the university drinking brandy, not a worry in the world. I've never had a problem here, and I can't see any problem ever arising because this is China, guys. They're not out to hurt you. They're if anything, they want to be your friend. Why? I don't know. You're not treating them very nice, but if you treated me like that, I'd probably hate your ass. But the Chinese, they're not like that. There's something good about the way that the Chinese think. Don't forget to tune in to my video next week. I'm going to be interviewing Jacoby from Jacoby's Journeys. He's the only other YouTuber in Nanning, China. Yes, we're going to get together and do a couple of videos together. This next week is the first one that we're going to do, and we're not quite sure what it's going to be yet, so it's going to be a surprise to me and you. That's another video from Gweilo 60. If you like this video, as always, like, comment, share, push that subscribe button, and thanks for watching. Bye now. This part of the video is for my daughter Miranda. She wanted to see more of Ho Chi Lu, so here's more of Ho Chi Lu. You've got mostly soup kitchens or soup restaurants. You've got eyeglass shops. You've got clothing shops. You've got, see, this is the university district of Nanning. It's the biggest university in Nanning. They have many universities here, but Guangxi University is right next door. That's where I did this video. But Ho Chi Lu is a happening place. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It goes. There's people here all the time. It's busy. It's a commercial area. My balcony is right up there. Yes, I'm not like some other YouTubers that they're scared to let people know where they live. When I was a collection agent, my phone number and my address were in the phone book for all the time that I ran a collection agency. Why? Because I don't do anything that warrants somebody coming for me. Well, maybe I have, but no brains, no feeling, no fear. Yes, that's who I am, and I've always been that way. Look around you. This place is as safe as any other place on this planet. People aren't here to hurt you. You're local people in Nanning. I like Nanning because everybody's always smiling. Everybody's always happy. Everybody's always enthusiastic about their day. It's a breath of fresh air after coming from places like Canada and the United States, where you get a lot of people are just, they're not happy with their lives. Hello. Hello. See what I mean? Like, everybody's happy. Anyway, Randy, this is for you. This is Ho Chi Lu. This is where your old man lives. Weird, eh? Scary? No, it's not. Some of the food is, but you get used to it after a while. Next time I'm in Edmonton, I'll get you some barbecue duck heads and chicken feet, and we can munch down on that. That will make you happy. I'm sure Emrys would be happy to eat chicken feet and duck heads. Happy birthday, Emmeline. And Darcy. Yeah, I know my dad forgot your name. Shit happens. Okay, talk to you later, bye.